Hello everyone and welcome into the channel. My name is Brent and in today's video we're now on week 9 of the $1,000 Sofi investment challenge. And this week is a big milestone. I just received my very first dividend on the platform from one of the ETFs that I've been invested in dollar cost averaging for several weeks now. So with another $25 invested, we're seeing real progress even while the market is trading at all-time highs. In this video, we're going to go ahead and go over the Grow Your Wealth to $1,000 challenge, week 9. We're also going to be covering the very first X dividend that we sat through, the payout of the dividend, how the calculation is done for the dividend that you be paid out, and how you guys can take advantage of getting your own dividends in your own stock market account. So with that said, definitely go down below, give this video a big old thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like, and let's go ahead and get into the update. So week 9 progress update, here we are. Our base balance of how much we've deposited into the account was $275 after that $50 referral bonus. We added $25 this week, bringing our base to $300. And then our new total for total equity within the account is $315.20. That means that our base was $300 and we've made a whopping $15.20 so far while investing over the last few weeks, months now on this platform. The shares that we purchased here on July 1st bought 0.044 shares, bringing our new total grand from 0.4623 to a whopping 0.46035. I don't know why I put that period in there, but it made me happy to just have multiple periods in there, I suppose. Here we can see here the shares that we own matches all correctly. The current share price of VU is $574.50 at close on Thursday. It shows our unrealized gains there is $14.47, but as we said, our new total in the account is actually $315.20. So I also noticed another issue that I caught in the account that we're going to go ahead and discuss a little bit further. One thing is dividends. That dividend was paid out. Hey, congratulations. Yay, we made our very first dividend in the account. It was 0.73, but it's sitting in cash in the account as well as that referral bonus. So I'm going to go ahead and chatter just a bit about that in just a moment. So we deposited $25 into the account on 30th, on the 1st, on Tuesday. It bought up those 0.044 shares at $566. So we made nearly $10 there if we had bought that full share, but we bought a tiny little fraction of a share. And then we did get paid out those dividends right there. So talking about the new dividend, this right here is how you guys can begin to earn your very own dividends with just $25 a week, or you could even be like $15, $10, right? It's just getting started. That's the important thing on in general, right? Just getting started. I have a link down below, referral bonus if you guys would like it. Get started on Sofi, deposit $25. You get $25 added to your own account. That's a grand total of $50 to get started right away. Now, if you're watching this and haven't commented down below yet, I would really appreciate it if you go down below, drop a comment. What dividend stocks are you holding right now? What is your favorite? What is the last dividend that you have received, right? Is it from VU, SPY, some other company out there? Let me know down in the comment section below. Mine was VU. June 30th was the ex-dividend date for VU. And we'll go ahead and cover the ex-dividend date, the cash amount, the record date, and the pay date here in just a minute as far as how it's all calculated. But the ex-dividend date is the main date you want to look for. When you are collecting dividends, you want to have all the shares you want to own owned before that ex-dividend hits. When that ex-dividend hits, if you own 100 shares of VU on June 29th, well, you're going to hit 100 shares owned on the ex-dividend of June 30th. You're going to get paid out $1.74 of a cent there. So if you have 100 shares of VU, you're going to get paid $174.47 for those 100 shares. It'll then get paid out onto your account on the 2nd of July, and you'll see it arrive in your account usually on the 3rd of July, which is exactly what happened with us. You can see here in the screenshot, the payout date was on the 2nd of July. We saw that it rolled into the account right there on the 3rd of July, 2025. We received 73 cents of dividend. Now, quickly, we're going to go ahead and cover the X dividend. I don't want to go too far into detail here, but if you guys have any specific questions, definitely drop them in the comment section down below. On the X dividend date on the 30th of June, depending on however many shares you own, it's going to calculate and multiply that number of either fractional shares or total shares by the payout amount. So in this case, we owned 0.41623 shares of VU on the X dividend date when it opened up. We multiply that number of fractional shares that we own by the total amount of cash that's going to get paid of $1.74 and 47 thousandths of a cent, and it got 0.7261 rounded up. We received 0.73 cents for owning those fractional shares of VU. So that is how the X dividend is kind of not calculated, but the X dividend date, VU pays out quarterly. There's some ETFs that pay out every month. There's some ETFs now that pay out every single week. There's even individual companies that pay out on a quarterly basis, on a bi-yearly basis. So you just have to kind of look it up, look at their dividend history. They generally stick really well within it. If you are going to be focusing on dividend stocks specifically, then it's important to note quite a few things that, that'll require like doing a deeper dive and doing more research on the payout frequency, the payout ratio, the dividend growth, the overall growth of the company in general, right? But the main thing here that we're kind of focusing on is the X dividend date being on June 30th, our cash amount there, and our payout date, which is all fine and dandy. Now, one thing that I noticed, we're going back to the gripe. Now, Sofi, having used Sofi now for just a few weeks and months now, in comparison to M1 Finance, I would say that they're slightly different, and M1 Finance does make it easier for automation. Over on Sofi, if you want to auto invest your dividends, it is an option here. If you go into your more option, click on the account details, and then you have to go right here on the account details. You then have the option to yes, enroll in dividend reinvestment. So this is kind of a nice thing. M1 Finance doesn't have drip. What it has is auto reinvestment. So there's two different things here. On Sofi, because we're investing on this platform right now, I'll mostly talk about the drip function and why it's nice in comparison to the reinvestment function of the total account. On Sofi Invest, when you turn on dividend reinvestment, when there's a dividend from a specific individual stock or from a specific ETF, that company rips, dividend, reinvest back into itself, not into anything else in the account. That's the function of drip, and it does really well. So if you have an account like I do, where I have one individual company, or it could even work if you have half a dozen individual companies that pay out dividends, you have this thing enabled. Every time a company that does pay out a dividend pays out, it's going to automatically reinvest into itself, buying up more fractional shares of whatever company that it is. Now, the difference here is that Sofi doesn't have an auto investment feature that M1 Finance does, but M1 Finance doesn't offer drip. Over on M1 Finance, you click a little toggle button, and anytime that the money hits a specific threshold, $25, all those funds would get targeted into specific portions of your portfolio based on the fractions that you set them up to be. If you set VU to be 25% of your portfolio and it's sitting at 30%, it won't ever target VU again until that specific slice of pie falls below its 25%. Say it's at 24.5, then it'll begin to target it. Instead, it'll choose other companies that are either below its thresholds, right? So it doesn't have the dividend reinvestment. So M1 Finance, you're over there, you can click and toggle a button, and if you have $50 sitting in the account, it'll automatically invest into those specific target pies. Whereas over here on Sofi Invest, there's no auto invest. We have to turn on drip. And then if you do get a referral bonus, as we did in the last video, you have to go in there and manually invest it yourself. There's no auto invest. There's no, if you have a balance over X amount, it'll just target a specific company. No, you have to do that manually yourself. So it's not a big gripe. It's just a difference in the platforms. Whether you want to be completely hands off and just let your auto investment features stay enabled and got automatically not dripped, but automatically reinvested based off percentages and pies, then M1 Finance is great. If you are running a little bit more of a manual system that can be drip, but you just have to reinvest all the little excess pieces, then SoFi works in that fashion as well. So just kind of a little different ways of it working there. So progress towards our goal. We're now sitting at $315.20 of the $1,000 investment challenge. So we are 31.52% of the way there. So that is awesome. I do think that we're going to hit it before we actually, by something around week 37, week 38, I believe, we should be on track to hit our $1,000 investment goal, but we shall see, right? Anything can happen right now. So every week that we add equity into the account, we're increasing our base. So here our base on week 9 is $300. And then on the right-hand side, that is our total equity that the account is sitting at this moment. You can see here, our week 2, we were sitting at $77.38. That's because our base was 75. We had $2.38 of capital gains right there. But here we are, week 9, several weeks later, we now have capital appreciation and dividends of $15.20. Now, not all of that is invested, as we kind of discussed just a little bit, right? I have 73 cents that was paid out in a dividend that I have to reinvest, and I have $50 sitting from a referral that I have to reinvest. That'll all get reinvested here on Tuesday next week. I'm going to go ahead and set a buy order of $50.23 to get that referral and dividend rolled in. I'm going to turn on drip. And then going forward, it'll just continue to deposit $25 and invest $25. So it's a little bit more of a manual process, but that is what the account is. It's a self-directed individual account. So that is the progress towards our goal. If you guys would like to join the $1,000 investment challenge, definitely check it out down below. There will be a pinned comment where you guys can sign up, get the free investment tracker, and begin using it to track your progress towards investing towards $1,000. I was watching a few other videos out there on YouTube with the fluctuation of dollar weakening and many individuals kind of not being able to have an expense of $1,000 and just not having it around. This is just $25 a week that you're setting aside for yourself, for your future, building up towards a long-term investment goal. So your challenge for next week is try and either earn or save $25 and comment down below how you did it. If you guys drop some comments down below, I'll feature it in next week's video. And of course, like and subscribe if you guys did enjoy this content. If you guys have any specific questions, definitely let me know as well, right? So this challenge has been all about consistency, not timing. Week by week, the deposits are beginning to stack up. Dividends are now beginning to roll in, and it's getting more exciting. If you guys want to follow along or join in, grab the free tracker down below in the description and the pinned comment. And it's the same one that I am using to keep track of my deposits and grow on track. So thank you all for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to drop a comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.